Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to Fishing with Nordbye. I'm out here at the lake today taking a little break from fishing, but I thought I'd tell you guys about some of my favorite fall baits. These are types of baits you can fish no matter where you're at, no matter what type of watercolor you're fishing, or what type of lakes, grass, rock, trees, whatever you're fishing. These are baits you can use anywhere. I use these a lot to target bass in tournaments I fish, as well as ponds and just little local places I go to make fishing videos for you all. I got Scout with me today. He is chewing on his mule deer horn that my buddy got for him, and he is just in love with that deer horn. He is going to be a good antler finding dog. He's going to be shed hunting before you know it. So here where I'm at in northwest Missouri, it's the beginning of September. Fall is just around the corner, and the bass know it. They're starting to stock up, feed up on shad. So what do bass do in the fall? They kind of get out of their summertime funk. They've been in a funk, not necessarily a funk, but they've been in just kind of a lull all summer. They feed at certain times of the day, then they go out deep, they'll suspend, they'll get in deep brush piles. In most of your lakes, this is what they do. When fall comes around, these bass start thinking, I gotta stock up for winter. They're kind of like a big bear, wanting to stock up before they hibernate all winter. So they get in groups sometimes, they start chasing these big balls of shad, and a lot of times I throw baits that imitate these big balls of shad. Wherever you're fishing, you want to match the hatch with the forage in your lake. What does that mean? Throw baits that are just like the bait fish in your lake, whether that's bluegill, whether that's shad, herring, just match the hatch. I'll match some footage up while I'm talking about these baits so you guys can see. So I want to talk about moving baits. The first bait I like throwing is a square bill. These fish start feeding on shad. You want to get something that looks like a shad. Right now, Scout says, yeah, I'll eat that. Man, he's thinking just like a bass. But right now I got this bluegill colored one on. I've been catching a lot of fish here on my home lake with it, just because these bluegill are about that big and these bass are starting to get up shallow and feed on them, as well as the shad are moving in, and they don't know if it looks like a bluegill or a shad when you're ripping it by their face. But I also use a gizzard shad color in this, black and white. It's got a black top and a white body. That is a great color square bill to use. The second bait I like throwing is a chatterbait. I actually got hooked on Nate's Custom Baits right here. This is his hybrid vibe chatterbait. It's got some bucktail in it. Scout says, I'm a shed dog, but I also smell that bucktail, so I want some of that as well. But I pair that with the Reaction Strike Chunky Shad. These Chunky Shad are kind of just like your Kitech swim baits. They swim almost just the same. They're almost identical. I represent this company, so I like them better. They're also a little cheaper, so go check them out. I'll link those down below. They make an awesome swim bait that you can put on your chatterbaits, your spinner baits, or you can just throw it on a regular jig head. With this chatterbait, I like to throw it up in shallow grass, ripping it through the grass. I'll also throw it along some rocks. Typically, I'll use a white one. If it's cloudy or windy or rainy, I'll switch to a dark black and blue one just so those fish can look up and see the shadow a little bit better. Scout likes the blue one. Chatterbaits imitate a shad almost perfectly, especially this little pearl white one, and this bucktail really fills out the chatterbait. When you're coming through the water, it doesn't fall down like your typical skirts, and these fish really key in on that. It gives it a bigger profile. I like to use a 1/2 ounce. I'll link these down below. You can go check them out as well. But I always put a swim bait trailer on them usually when I'm fishing them. The third bait I like throwing is a shaky head. You can throw this bait anytime, anywhere. Typically I use a 3/16 ounce head, and then I'll use a Tight Lines UV 6-inch finesse worm. Green red flake or green pumpkin are my go-to colors. And you screw it right up there on the head, and you rig this bait weedless, and you can catch a lot of fish on this when fishing gets tough. I use this all year round actually, and especially in the fall when fishing gets tough, when these bass stop keying in on those shad, or it's just an off day where they're not chasing them. When fishing this bait, you typically want to let it sink to the bottom and just kind of hop it all the way back in, and these bass will come up behind it and snatch it. You'll catch a bunch of fish on this bait any time of the year, anywhere in the country. I've caught fish on this from South Carolina to Wisconsin to Alabama, and I use it a ton here in Missouri as well. Great bait to use. My number 4 bait for fall fishing is a spinner bait. This one right here is my personal favorite. It's actually my signature bait. It's called Nordbye's Finesse Spinner Bait. Comes with a 1/2 ounce head, and then it's got a turtleback blade that puts off a lot of motion in the water paired with the Colorado blade. It comes in white, it comes in kind of a pearl mouse color, and it also comes in white and chartreuse. If I'm fishing clear water, I'll use that pearl color. If I'm fishing mid-stay in water, I'll use this white. But if I'm fishing really murky water, I love to throw a spinnerbait, and I love to throw white and chartreuse. And Scout says, man, I'm picking that one if I had to pick. Right now, you can go pick up one of these finesse spinnerbaits. I'll link it down below. But every spinnerbait you buy, $2 goes to my tournament fund of 2019. So thank you guys ahead of time for doing that. We got a few spinnerbaits left in stock, so go pick them up. But these spinnerbaits are only $5.99 right now on wizardcustomtackle.com. I'll link them down below. Scout, you are a menace. You know that? The fifth bait I like throwing in the fall is a top water bait. Typically, I'll throw a frog if I'm around grass. My favorite frog to throw is this live target popping frog. It's got a soft popper on it. I'll throw black most of the time unless it's really sunny, then I'll throw more of a natural color. But when fish are looking up at it, they see a shadow when you're throwing this black color, and they just really key in on it a little better than the other colors. You throw it out there, you'll twitch it about a couple inches at a time, pop it a few times, let it sit for a minute. You got to find out the cadence the fish are wanting that day. It changes day to day. Sometimes they want it moved fast, and sometimes they barely want it twitched. It also matters what lake you're on. I've found up in the Mississippi River up in Wisconsin, these fish really want the frog moving fast. They're used to chasing fish really fast in that river current, but here on Mazingo Lake, they just barely want it twitched back and forth, side to side, and let it sit there for about 30 seconds in between twitches sometimes. And that is what it takes to get bit on this frog sometimes. If you're fishing a lake without grass, got more rocks or trees or just banks without grass, a lot of times I'll throw a walking bait such as a spook. I'll even throw a buzz bait. And your best times to fish those baits are early in the morning or late at night. Another type of fishing topwater works really good in is clear lakes. The bass will get out in school on big schools of shad. You'll see them busting out in the middle. If you can throw a walking bait or a whopper plopper right in the middle of them, you'll catch some good fish that way as well. So there you have it, my top 5 baits. You got a topwater frog or a spook slash plopper style bait. You got a shaky head, you got a spinner bait, you got a chatterbait, and a square bill. Those are my top 5 baits for fall fishing. I'm gonna roll some footage here at the end of this with each of those baits being used, catching fish on them, just so you guys can see kind of the exact ways I like to fish them. I don't know if you guys have seen, but I got a drone for my channel. The first drone I got was a Phantom 3, and the controller batteries actually wouldn't stay charged on it. So I had to send it back. I just got a Mavic Pro, and I'm trying it out tonight for the first time at sunset. So I hope you guys like this drone footage I'm about to roll. Scout says he's getting antsy. He's got to go to the restroom. He's ready for dinner. All the above. He probably wants to sleep too. But we're gonna get out of here for the day. Thank you guys for watching my channel as always. If you haven't seen me before, please hit that subscribe button. I just started my channel in January. You guys are awesome for watching all the videos and content I've put out. It's just the start. Things are just getting started. Big things are coming the rest of 2018 on my channel, and I've already kicked out over 100 videos to you all. Thank you for that. Just hit over 4,000 subscribers a week ago. Pretty awesome. 5,000 subscribers is the next step. So we'll see you guys next time on Fishing with Nordbye. Same pace, and they got their heads up and they're walking. There's one. Net. It's okay. He might measure. He's super skinny but long. Just got hit on the chatterbait. I just switched it up to Nate's custom chatterbait here, the hybrid vibe. Oh, this is a stud, Scout. Oh man, he crushed it. He hit it like a little one. I guess he knocked so much slack in there, I didn't feel like it was a good one. Look at that. Nate's custom chatterbait right there. His hybrid vibe. There's one. Got him dead. Net. Oh, that's what it took. Switching up to the shaky head. This fish got some weight on it. Oh, this fish has some weight. Oh, come on. Oh, that's a good one. Ready? There we go. Thank you, Lord. Oh, there's a 5. That's a 5-pounder. All right. There we go, Dad. Catch him down under there. Oh my gosh, that fish came all the way out of the water. Yep, you better put on a frog. It's been a slow day up until now. Oh man, thank you.
Oh my God.
Look at that fish. Oh, that's a grass bass. Look at that frog in his mouth. Totally choked it. Wow, that is a stud. Super fat, super healthy grass bass. Man, he all the way out of the water,
Oh my God.
just about to eat that frog. Oh, fish on. I'm out here washing my shoes off. Man, that's a good one. Oh yeah. Wow. Yes. That is a good largemouth right there. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yeah. Woohoo! 5 pounder. Look how thick this fish is. Oh my gosh. That is so awesome. Wow. Look at this bass.